Hi there! In the previous video, we already finished the preprocessing that we want to perform on our datasets, but now it's the time to start moving to Kedro so that we can be more systematic about it. I'm back to the data processing pipeline page of the Spaceflights tutorial, and we see here how my code is going to look like. I already defined the isTrue, parse percentage, and parse money functions, and it's the moment to create our first Kedro pipeline and put them there. Now I'm going to go back to VS Code, and I'm going to use the Kedro pipeline create command to create my first pipeline. To see the effects, I'm going to expand what's happening here. At the moment, you see that pipelines is an empty directory. It contains an ini.py, but not much else. So remember that I have Kedro info here, that I'm using Kedro 0.18.13 with Python 3.10 in this case. Now, if I do Kedro pipeline create data processing, this is going to create a number of files on my behalf, and I can see them already in the File Explorer. So there's a new data processing directory. This contains an init.py, but also nodes.py and pipeline.py. We're going to go to the pipeline in a moment, but first let's focus on the nodes. So the nodes are the Python functions that are going to perform any operations that we want on our data. Then we're going to assemble those nodes in the pipeline. Now let me move the code from my notebook to here. I'm going to back to my Jupyter notebook, and if you remember, I have several functions defined here. So I'm going to copy and paste it here. I will need import pandas as PD. Now I also have my parse percentage function, so I'm going to move that here. And finally, I'm going to move my parse money function as well. So this is going to be here. I'm not being very careful about the style at the moment. I'm just moving the functions from one place to the other. Now, I want to group these functions in two. On one hand, I'm going to perform the preprocessing of the company's CSV file in one function, and then I'm going to create another one for the shuttles. So let's get started. This is going to be a new function called preprocess companies. This is going to receive a pandas data frame. So this is going to be pandas data frame, and it's going to return another pandas data frame. I will fill that in a moment. My second function will be preprocess shuttles. Again, this is going to receive a pandas data frame, and it's going to return another pandas data frame. Now, what preprocess companies is going to do is applying the isTrue function for the column that we have to convert, and it's going to do the same with parse percentage. So let's go back here and remember what's happening. If I scroll back to my company's preprocessing, remember that I'm applying the parse percentage function to company rating, and I'm applying isTrue to the IATA approved. So let's do just that. My df IATA approved is going to be isTrue df IATA approved. There we go. And then, if you remember, my company rating is going to be parse percentage df company rating. Now I'm going to return df, and I'm done. So that would be the preprocessing of my companies. Now, to preprocess the shuttles, I have to proceed in the same way. Remember from my notebook, if I scroll back here, that I was applying the isTrue function to dcheck complete and clearance complete, and I was applying the parse money function to the price. So let's do that. Now, df and I copy the column name here, dcheck complete, is going to be is true df of dcheck complete. And I'm going to do the same with the other column, which is moon clearance complete. Finally, df price is going to be parse money with the original df price. I now return the data frame and I'm done. If I want to apply some style checks to this, I can install a code formatter like black, for example. I'm going to give it a few seconds to install, and then I will be able to quickly reformat my code so that it looks much better. So I'm going to do black src spaceflights. This is going to iterate over all the files that I have at the moment, and it's going to reformat them so that the code style is more consistent. Let me give this a couple of seconds to finish. And now after this is done, you see that the spacing between the functions is much more consistent, and in general, my code is easier to read. Now I have created my nodes file with the functions that I'm going to need, and I want to tell Kedro to apply the preprocess companies function to the companies dataset and preprocess shuttles to the shuttles dataset. That will be in the next video.